You don't know what's happened at the beginning. You feel very sorrow. You don't want to do anything. You can't tell anybody. You are perceived as sunshine type of personality as always, and you think in your heart that you should be strong as always. But you feel unmotivated, sometimes you just lay on the bed. It's not that you're feeling lazy, but it's just like a battery, but now you're out of charge. If you share the symptoms and think it's about, you are depressed. Hey friends, welcome back. This is Vec, and today I would like to share my story about how I discovered myself being depressed and how I see the doctor and begin to work for it. In this channel, I talk about online freedom, the mindsets and tools to help you become a digital nomad, so feel free to subscribe. It all go back to the beginning. To be frank, now, even if I talk about it, I still feel a little bit ashamed, just like many people else. You don't want the else think that you are unable to handle the stress, and thus they give you less opportunities. And sometimes you feel like the other people cannot just understand you, even if your parents who love you the most. So you don't just want to tell anybody. But then I realized that if you feel depressed, it's actually a disease. It will change your biological structure. Thus, you need medicine. You need adjustment. It's not something of your fault, but something you need to be aware and also try to adjust to it. Just like obesity, the society will also go through a stage of realizing this is a disease. You may don't know, I am extrovert. It sounds very strange. How come a sunshine type of person, how can an extrovert feel depressed? But I checked some documents. If you are extrovert personality, there's less possibility for you to feel depressed, but it doesn't mean that you won't be depressed. Li Gongyao, the president of Singapore, ever said, whoever governs Singapore must have this iron in his heart. It's not a card game. This is actually also a memo inside my heart. For a long time, I consider myself must be strong, must be able to handle the stress. I realized that it is indeed, if you are the leader, if you are the politic type of persons, you must handle the stress, however you are under the stress. If you are the CEO of the company, you must lead a team to do something through the hardship. But actually, this could be why we feel depressed. Not every one of us want to be CEO. Not every one of us need to be the leaders or CEOs, etc. I started to feel I may be depressed when I lost sleep and feel disgusted 1 o'clock in the late night. That was very severe. I want to eat something sweet to make me happy, but actually I was a gym type of person, so I always try to consume more protein. And I remember that 1 a.m. in the late night, I sit by the yard of the apartment, watching at the street. There's no one passing, but I just stare at the moon at the night. You think a lot, think about the past, the friends in the past, the beautiful memories, the lost loves, and you really want to go back and spend this time and tell them that you really care about it. You think of your family, your mama and papa are waiting for your help, and you just cannot let them disappointed. I lean on the wall and my tears begin to fall down. Actually, my papa was ill and he's in the hospital from time to time. I realized that I need to actually transfer money back to him so that I can help him to cure the disease. My mama expected me to send some money back to help the family business after the pandemic. Safeguard. I tell myself, God damn, I cannot lose this job. Also, my personality is always strive for the best, even strive in hardship. All these factors combined, I was almost like a guitar string who was very tense, almost to break, but I still always try to concentrate my best efforts at that moment. And it's actually after some months, I realized that this kind of status is actually dangerous because it's a dead loop. The more you want to do it, the more you feel you have this kind of obligation, the more you think you should not surrender to life, the easier you will get depressed. The only solution at this stage is to quit. Every morning when I open the email, I actually need to concentrate my breath. It's almost like you need to concentrate and conquer something in front of you. I often felt my heartbeat accelerated. I feel I need to rush to break through the air wall and click to log in the system and check the work emails and a list of the Google chat messages with so many red dots. And then you need to prepare to check your daily work list and also dedicate your tasks. At least you don't want to look like you are the last to delegate the task to others, be reminded by your colleagues or subordinator. And now, when I look back, I realized that I was involved in the dilemma of the office politics. Let me briefly introduce what I experienced at that moment. I went for a new role in a media company. It was kind of very industry type project, But the thing is that the team actually has only one person under me. I was a new manager and I only have one specialist under me, and then comes a new director. The whole organization structure was very flat, and my line manager tried to manage the whole team. I was in a really embarrassed positions. I once to think that my role was to actually lead a team to get an outcome. After 3 months, I was reminded that my line manager actually expect me to actually do the campaign. And he or she was not satisfied that I leveraged the team to complete the work, while I always thought my role was to lead the team as a whole to complete the outcome. You know, this is actually about how to manage people. And if you want to manage people, it's not just about encouragement. It's also about the philosophy. You actually need to balance the conflicts, balance the opportunities, who you stand with, and party, and the interests of each side. My father was a businessman who once did business in China, but obviously he was not initially aware that he should teach me about how to do people management. For at the moment, I begin to check some data or information on the internet on what's the symptom of depressions. At the moment, I already dubbed a little bit. I read the message that people who feel depressed, feel unmotivated, loss of sleep, often think of the past. I suddenly feel a great relief. I want to hug myself at the moment. Hey Vec, I see your little boy. You are kind, but you do suffer. I just want to hug myself at that moment. And eventually I found a reason for me to maybe get a rest. Then I went to seek the doctor in Tokyo. Here I need to mention that in Japan, it's actually not easy to make an appointment with the mental doctors, especially if you're in the suburb. So please remember to appoint your appointment with the doctor before. I went to see the doctor. She led me to fill the survey, did a blood test, draw a big tree, and listen my stories. And she diagnosed me with Tikio Shogai, which is the hardship to adaptation, often caused working stress, possibly could lead to being depressed. Then I went back, I checked the YouTube videos about what is Tikio Shogai. And indeed, the symptom was exactly what I experienced. The more you want to work well, the more you will get depressed. So the only solution at the moment was to quit. The doctor gave me a certificate. It's interesting to mention that in Japan, if you are diagnosed with this kind of mental disease, such as depression or Tikio Shogai, with this certificate, you can actually go back to the company and quit directly. And after 7 days, you can begin to get the social welfare for insurance, about 5,500 Japanese yen per day. But if you are not diagnosed before the last day of your work, you may need to wait for around 2 months, which is 60 days before you can get this social welfare. Then I went back to the company. I quit my job. Actually, at that moment, the company also suggested me to quit my job, urged me to sign a contract before a certain date. I guess maybe some legal responsibility for them if they was passed. Because in Japan, it's relatively hard to unemploy an employee compared with the English countries. It's not just about paying the price, but also the employee may argue with the company, and then judge may not really allow the company to unemploy an employee. Moreover, in Japan's society, it's usually considered the company as the protection shelter or the protection umbrella and cover the employees. Because in Japan, the employees usually work for a long time, maybe for 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, much longer compared with the average year in English areas. But anyway, I was already aware that I was in a state that not suitable for working anymore, and I should really value my health. So I signed the contract and agreed on the pay. And also from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate my boss. He gave me the opportunity to invite me directly from China to Japan and also help me to deal with the working visa. This is really precious and start my new stage of life. Also, with some appreciation from my previous boss, I accepted the contract. I still remember that day when I finished signing the contract. It was on Friday. Usually we say the happy Friday, and everyone in the afternoon have free snack or just drink and chill. Most of my colleagues didn't know that I will be away. So everyone just go off as normal, and I greet them to say, hey, goodbye, hey, goodbye. I greet them very sincerely. And when everyone's gone, it's my last day. It sometimes feels like yesterday that I came to Japan on the first day, wait for the HR at the first floor. And now it's already almost a year. Thank you, the people who gave me the opportunity to sponsor me to come here. I hope I have satisfied your expectation. Appreciate it.
Keys.
I turned off the lights in the office. The office that I work in Tokyo was on the 30th floor. I began to touch this office desk and my laptop. It was actually in a very city center position where I can see the Tokyo Tower, I can see the Mountain Fuji, and when you turn off the light, it was the $1 million night view of Tokyo. The starry lights of the Tokyo Tower is sparkling the whole city. Oh, so beautiful. Some people need to go to the Shibuya Tower to pay for a ticket. For me, I just need to turn off the lights and enjoy such view. I asked myself, yes, I didn't spend a meaningless time here. The another day, I walked back to the office to take my stuff away. I began to refeel the sunshine. I began to hear the birds sing. I began to notice that the people sings, chatting, and buying their lunch food on the first floor of the square. And life should be beautiful as always. I gradually begin to realize the beautiful side of life again. After some month, I will be ready with my new inspirations, clear mindset to reinvest myself into my career. Okay, so above are my story about how I realized that I feel depressed and also to begin to work from it. For the next chapter, I will share about what actions I really do to help me to walk out from my depressions. So please remember to click inside and watch. And do you have similar experience? Feel free to comment below. See you next.